Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Positive Mindset Podcast with Natasha Dassine, your ICF certified personal development coach and author. If you are new here, I am thrilled to have you join us on this journey of inspiration and empowerment. Our mission is clear: inspire you, empower you to embrace the transformative power of positive mindset. Your mindset can shape you, but your mindset can break you. Today, I am excited to introduce our special guest, Jessica Elix, the owner of Ignite Possibilities. She is an ICF ACC certified life and executive coach. Before we begin our conversation today, allow me to thank you for your continued support and enthusiasm. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our podcast and become part of our growing community dedicated to positivity and personal growth. I first met Jessica during our advanced positive psychology coaching training, where I quickly discovered her as a compassionate listener with an inspiring story. You will discover it by yourself. I will never forget the day that Jessica purchased my book, 52 Positive Quotes for 52 Successful Weeks, just minutes after I released the link. Thank you so much, Jessica. You are very, very supportive. And moments like this highlight for me the power of connection and support within our community. Jessica's journey as a coach and her dedication to empowering others is truly remarkable. With her expertise in emotional intuition and regulation, along with her passion for teaching compassion, diversity, and inclusion, Jessica will bring invaluable insight to our conversation today. Without further ado, please let's welcome Jessica Elix to the Positive Mindset Podcast. Hi, Jessica. How are you today?
Hi, Natasha. I'm doing so well. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you as well for accepting this invitation. It's
I'm
a
so
pleasure for me to have you.
well, and
And I hope the listener, the watchers will enjoy the conversation today.
well, I'm sure. Well, it's been a pleasure getting to know you, and to be sitting with you on this stage is just remarkable. And I'm honestly thrilled to be here, and it was lovely to receive the invitation. So thank you.
Thank you so very much, Jessica. Thank you. Thank you for being so supportive. So, to start, can you share a bit about your journey for the watcher, the viewers, and the listeners? What inspired you to become a life and executive coach?
Well, absolutely, I'd be happy to. Well, my journey began really as a teenager when I started coaching young athletes in goalkeeping. So I'm a soccer player myself, and I really started enjoying not just teaching individuals about the game and excelling in on the field, but also what it means to show up as a person and as a leader. And that theme has really stuck in through my life up until this day. Out of college, I decided to jump into a different business. And so I was helping individuals with their productivity and organization. And what I realized is everybody's different. Everybody is so unique in the way that they process information and process things. And oftentimes, having just an individual to sit with them while they're working through some of the internal dialogue and processing that out loud really helps them achieve so much greater results and come up with situations and solutions that they might not have even realized existed for them. And so it was a really gentle but evident path that this is where I'm supposed to be today. And so, giving the opportunity to dive in and be coached pretty significantly myself on a 6 month period, and then taking those skills that were placed on me and passing those off to others was really what started me on this journey and why I am here right now with you.
That's wonderful. By listening to you, it seems that you were coaching since college, way long before our coaching training with Sagasi.
It's coaching has been an aspect of my life, and simply working with others for most of my life. And in working with others, it really fulfills me on a different level. And so it's something that I know at the end of the day, if I've had positive connections with others, I feel so much better about who I am as an individual as well. So just kind of keeping that momentum going.
Wow, if you have positive connection with other, can you please complete it for the listener and viewers? It's so deep.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, so, I really think that in working with so many individuals, so I've worked with veterans, with doctors, with executives, with parents, and with teachers, the commonality that all of those individuals have across um, education status, ethnicity, diversity, marital status, age, is that if we know who we are on the inside and we spend a little bit of time understanding how we as individuals work, how I work as a person, then I get to bring that compassion and empathy into trying to understand who those other individuals are that I'm working with or I'm interacting with on a daily basis. So it's from that self understanding that we get to understand others who are around us.
Definitely. And for me, that's the best part of coaching. We are working with so many individuals with different backgrounds, and we are learning from each of them. It's so amazing. It's a
It's
great
the
job.
it's the best job. It's
It's
the
a great
best.
job. And I think that coaching is really, really my purpose. Is something that I can do whenever. I am never tired to coach because our satisfaction is helping others. Yeah. Isn't
Yeah.
it?
I mean, I completely agree. Being able to work with whomever comes around, because right on the inside, we're the same. We may process information differently. We may have had different life experience and present experiences to get us to where we are, but on the inside, like my heart is the same
Yes.
as other people's, and it's nurturing those different aspects of ourselves to really feel how we want to connect with others and what feels
Meet them
comfortable.
where they are.
Yeah, yeah, that
Where they
connection.
are.
Yep, yep.
Yeah. Your coaching practice is named Ignite Possibilities, a little
Hmm.
close to my personal tagline, which is Ignite Your Potential. Or do you believe a positive mindset plays a role in igniting possibilities in others' life?
I have many aspects in my life, many examples where I was so stuck into what I thought my outcome should be when I got through a challenging time or even through a happy and exciting time in my life.
Mhm.
What I've come to realize and what I try to share with others and coach others to kind of see in themselves is that we have no idea what these outcomes are going to be. And
Mhm.
if we get stuck on what one should be, we're actually losing sight is that there might be a lot of other routes and paths that that
Mhm.
outcome could have taken that would have yielded different results that are far greater than what we had even imagined. So when I was trying to come up with my business name a couple years back, I got really stuck. Like it was hard for me to figure something out. And ultimately, I decided on Ignite Possibilities because it's the possibilities, right? Possibilities are endless. You get to choose which
Mhm.
route to take. But when we come so fixated, right, that fixed mindset on this is the only way for me to succeed or this is the only way for me to go through it, we're limiting ourselves and we're limiting what we can accomplish in life on a far greater scale.
Why ignite? Why not create?
Well, because igniting is getting that spark in you,
Yes.
right? And sometimes it's that spark, that little flame, that desire, that interest, that peak of curiosity that
Interesting.
lightens up all of these other aspects in ways that you might not have even realized existed.
Yes, yes. And I always said, I believe every human being already has the necessary needed within. to achieve whatever the person need. That's why I choose Ignite as well.
There you go.
Can you please share a specific example where cultivating a positive mindset help achieving transformation in one of your clients' life?
Sure. One specific one comes to mind because it was really recent. And this individual has felt like her voice has been silenced for a while, silenced in the industry she works in, silenced in her family. And so, her mindset was to keep that silence to herself because
Mhm,
sharing that was painful. It was, she didn't know what the like how it would be received back if she shared these hard things that have happened.
mhm,
And the mindset shift that she ultimately came to realize for herself was her silence is keeping her down. It's
mhm.
keeping her from moving forward and experiencing some of these things. Sometimes a person's silence, it's it's squashing who they are on the inside. And one of the things that I say is you don't have to speak loud in order to be heard.
Yes.
So just removing that silent barrier in her and even sharing her experiences down on paper simply for herself. So she feels heard for herself. She gets to share that story for herself, not for the sake of others, but
Yeah,
for
yeah.
her mind to
I
grow,
love that. I love
right?
that.
And so that was that shift in her. And so she gets to take that information for whatever she wants. But she's not silent because she had that capacity to remove that barrier for herself.
Wow, definitely amazing. And I can relate with that.
Can
You
you?
don't,
Yeah.
yes, you don't have to speak loud to be heard. And when speaking, even speak with your heart. For example, as your client who was struggling with her self sabotage. We all have self sabotage. And for me, as a French and Creole native, it is not easy for me to accept to show up in English. But as I know that what I have to say, I have something to say. I have a voice. And everyone does. You have a voice. You have something to say. Don't let fear prevent you from showing off. Don't let fear push you to keep silence when you have something to say. Good job, Jessica. I am so very proud of this accomplishment in the life of your clients.
Well, thank you. And likewise for you too, right? Removing that fear or noticing that fear in yourself. Be like, well, I'm going to do this anyways because the way I want to show up is the way I'm going to show up.
Yes. And I want also to have this accountability with all the listeners and viewers. I show up even if I don't feel comfortable enough. I will
Yeah.
show up. And
Right.
for you who are listening, who is listening or watching us, just start. Start
Just
where
start.
you are with what you have. Start messy.
Yeah.
Start anyway.
Just start.
Start with a low means, but start anyway.
Yeah.
And maybe after you will look back and you will say, oh, wow, I did it.
I did
That's
that.
why we want for you.
Yes, yes, the self-recognition that, ooh, I did something that was hard. And, you know, stretching yourself out of your comfort zone is a really important aspect in development because otherwise we just stay right where we're comfortable and right where we're at. And if something's a little bit scary, that's where I say, okay, that's my area to like push through that a little bit because it's my sabotage, right? I'm self sabotaging. These things in me, these limiting beliefs or this mindset is holding me back. It's wanting to hold me back for some reason. And I don't have to let it. I
Yes.
don't have to let it.
Yes. And one thing to remember, your success, this dream that you want to realize, is out of your fear, out of your comfort zone. So leave your comfort zone and let's go. And that's why the Positive Mindset podcast is here for you,
There
to
we go.
help you overcome your limiting belief, to help you um, understand the power of a positive mindset in order to achieve whatever you want in your life, because we, Jessica and I, we believe you can.
There we go. I
Here
completely
we
agree.
go.
There
Here
we
we
go.
go. And that's motivation that pushed me to ask you that question. We all know that motivation often plays a key role in personal development. How do you help your clients stay motivated, especially during challenging time?
Yeah, probably the keeping a client motivated during challenging times. What I have noticed is that many individuals can look back on a challenging time and remember when somebody has left them during that time. And so reminding them that I'm here for the ups and downs on this journey together, because it really is the relationship that a coach and the client has. It's a journey, and we don't know where we're going to end up, but I'm not walking away. I'm sticking right there for accountability, for for compassion, for consideration, and for asking those questions that might get them from here up a little bit higher, or from here it might hurt, like it might feel like a, oh,
Yeah.
right, but those are the things that get somebody through. And so just reminding them that I'm not like, I'm here, this is part of the development. Sometimes development is messy and you have to get through the mud before you can get through the clear path, but I'm
Wow.
walking side by side with you.
Yes, yes. And I always tell them, you are your driver, your life driver. You are doing our coaching partnership. You
Yes.
will be at the driver's seat of your life. I will just here with you to help you drive. But I am not the driver of your life. I will leave you. I will let you drive. And that's why as well push me to publish again my 52 positive quote, just to help them with a coach every week, with a quote every week. Because as a coach, we only spend 1 hour week with the client, maybe sometime 2 hour, because I have some of clients, because I offer some 10 or 15 minutes
Mhm.
between the session if they have something urgent. So they take advantage of that.
Yes.
But after those 1 or 2 hours week, the person, the client, will be by himself or by herself. He needs
Yes.
to stay motivated day after day. And
Mhm.
I know it is not always easy, but as you said, we sometimes we know how we start and we don't know how we will finish.
That's the beauty of the coaching process, is it is client led, and
Yes.
I'm not there to push somebody, right, or pull them through it. I'm there to sit with them because it's the timeline is theirs.
Yes. Yes.
And it's so, I think it's such a more freeing process than some of the other processes out there, because it allows the client to really experience the information and what they're trying to achieve at their own rate.
Yes.
It's so beautiful to see
Beautiful
that
and
happen.
rewarding.
Yes, yes, yes.
Definitely, definitely it is. Definitely. And it is all about the client perspective. It is all about the client maps.
Right,
You,
right. I
we can prepare a plan for a session and we end up having different, a very different coaching session just because the client come with another question.
Right. And I told somebody just last week, it doesn't matter to me where you end up at the end of this phase of your life. Like I care about you. What matters is that you are comfortable, right? You, the client, are comfortable in the decisions that you're making to get you to this point. Like that's what matters to me, that they have the confidence to
Wow.
say yes or sometimes no to this next thing.
Yes. And the ability to mean it. Even you say yes or no, you mean it. You know why you say yes. And why I also tell them, say yes to yourself first.
Always.
Whatever
Always.
you have to say yes or no, make sure the yes you will say, it is not a no for you, a
Right.
no to you. And the no, or the no you will say, it is not a yes to you.
Right.
So always, always fill your cup first. And I understand that the transformation, this mindset shift in your client's life really matters for you. Can you please, Jessica, tell us what inspires you the most in your role as a coach, especially when you are helping individuals ignite their potential?
Probably the thing that is the most inspiring is just seeing where a person is at the end of a session. And then the thoughts that continue to happen, right? Those email exchanges that I continue to have with clients between sessions, where the the learning and development continues to happen. The considering things in a different way continues to happen. It's not just, and you spoke of this, it's not just the 1 hour that we see each other every week or every couple of weeks. There's so much that still happens. And what keeps me going and what keeps me filled is when I hear and see the excitement that comes back, or that understanding. Sometimes it's a hard understanding, but the understanding of, oh man, like I see this happened again. This same situation happened again. And now I can recognize that. And I know what hasn't worked in the past. And I know what I want to do now to take care of this. And for me, for a client to kind of put all of these topics and all of these things together for their own understanding is like so exciting to me to see that in them, because I hear their excitement. Jessica, you're not gonna believe what just happened. I just got this email and I knew how to respond to it, or some of this thing we were working on. And it happened, like I got a yes to this and I was so scared to do it, but we came up with a plan and I got a yes. And it's those types of things, right? They're small wins for me, huge wins for the
Definitely,
client.
definitely
Yeah,
the power of small wings. And it's
mhm,
so, so exquisite
it
to
is.
see someone achieve whatever he or she thought was impossible.
Yeah, yeah, what
It's
a
definitely,
great word to describe it. Exquisite, that's perfect.
yeah,
Yes,
for me, it's exquisite.
that's
And it's
perfect.
my favorite part. Whenever my clients tell me, or I can observe that at the beginning, I can't do that. I don't believe in myself. I am not that type of person who can succeed. And after, oh, coach, I did it. And I have the confidence to do it. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. And when they try to transform themselves in coaches as well to help
Uh-huh.
their friends, one of them called me, oh, coach, I have a friend of mine who is in the same situation I did. You know what I did? I suggest her to do. I said, oh, okay. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Now, Jessica, you are a coach, you are a former athlete, you are still working with youth, and you are a mother. Tell us, how do you do to balance your life?
Oh, that's probably a question that I get asked a lot. Jessica, how do you do it all? So I've been self-employed since, for 12, 13 years. Before I had kids, I started a business. And the only way I've been able to balance that is by balancing myself. And there have been times where I have not done a good job with balancing myself, and I've been working too long, too late, too hard, and then I get unhappy. And when
Mhm.
I get unhappy and stressed out, I get critical of myself and critical of others. And so the way that I've known that works best to manage that is through continuing coaching for
Mhm.
myself, outside help, Getting outside is like my best mental health thing for myself. I have to get outside. I have to get a walk in and sunshine. Um, and then also something that I've had to tell myself is really think through what can wait until tomorrow. I'm
Prioritize your priority.
prioritize my priorities. I'm a hard driver. I feel like I'm Wonder Woman. I can do it all. No problem. But if I'm not taking care of myself and my needs by eating well, by drink enough water, by, talking to others, I tend to lose sight of why I'm doing what I'm doing. And if I ever lose sight of my why, then I know I'm not doing something right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Taking care of yourself. And if you have an advice to give to any young women, entrepreneur, mother, what will you say?
The advice that I would say is you can, yes, you can, and you don't have to do it all.
Yes.
So one
Yes.
of my biggest lessons as a business owner and as a mom and as a spouse is to ask for help before I get buried.
Yes.
So if that means that, I'm asking for somebody's guidance, I'm running into a barrier in my business and I need help, I reach out to a couple women that I know who are business owners and I say, hey, have you ever experienced something like this? And what would you do? Because talking with other people is the best form of me getting out of my head. But when I try to do it all in my head, that's when I keep going on my own little wheel. So asking for help,
Yes.
asking for help. It's
Yes.
not a sign of a weakness. It's a sign of a strength to be able to do it.
Definitely. Definitely. Definitely.
Natasha, I don't know everything. What and I'm not designed to know
Anyone
everything.
does.
No, I'm not.
Anyone does.
Right. And so it's because I don't know everything, I'm going to reach out to those who know differently than me, or know more than me, or have a different experience or perspective than I do. So asking for help.
Ask for help. You don't have to do life by yourself. And even Oprah, even Bill Gates said, anyone needs a coach. Even myself, even Jessica, even any
Yes.
other coaches,
Mhm.
anyone. We all coach, we have a coach. So
Yes.
don't be scared, ashamed to ask for help. And also to take a break, to take a pause, because life is not a marathon. You have
No.
to breathe, to pause,
Yes.
to breathe, to reflect in order to advance.
Absolutely. And it's sometimes, sometimes people ask me, well, how's your week going? And I say, you know, this week is stable. Like it's steady. And steady for me is fantastic. That's where I want it to be. I don't want to feel like I'm always reaching for more, right? Because that means I'm trying to fulfill myself because there's not enough in me. So my
I was
my
like that,
goal, yeah,
and I
my
end
goal
up
is
in the
stable.
emergency room.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
oftentimes as, women entrepreneurs, we find ourselves, hustling so much and it becomes exhausting.
Yes.
And that's when reaching out for help, kind of working through well, why am I trying to do this? And if that positive is there, right?
Yes.
If
Yes.
it's not to prove myself to others, but if others are at the forefront to educate the greater good, to show up better in my life, in my relationships, that's when I know that I'm the decisions that I'm making are based on my core values, right? Those things that are like do
What
not
are your
move.
core values? Can you share
Um,
with us?
so they've changed over time,
Mhm.
but compassion, family, and love are my
Love,
three.
compassion. I can testify. I can testify. Wow. It's a very great conversation we are having, Jessica. So, unfortunately, as we have to conclude it, What message of inspiration would you like to share with our audience about the transformative power of maintaining a positive mindset?
That's interesting that you asked that because this was on my mind this morning. And what was on my mind is how, society oftentimes looks down on individuals when they are trying to change the way their hair is, or change their style, or shake things up in their relationships. And society looks at it as they don't know who they are,
Mhm.
right? And what came to me this morning is like they're trying to find out who their true self is.
Wow.
If I don't change my hair, if I don't like change up my clothes or my style or show up in a different way, how do I know how I want to show up if I don't try out these other sides of who I am?
Take risk.
Take some risks. Take some
Mhm.
risks. So that's what I would say. Don't be afraid to learn and to understand who you really are, because we're not meant to be the same person for our entire life. We're meant to have some of those same values, but those things even shift and change depending on what period of life we're in. So simply because something was, really meaningful and drove you 5 years ago doesn't mean that that's going to be the same here and now,
Yes.
nor will it be the same 5 years from now. So
Always make this self assessment of yourself.
make
Get to
yourself
know you, get to know your goals, your
Yep,
priorities, your desire. Get to
yes,
know you. This is the message that
this is the
Jessica is
message.
giving to you.
Mhm.
That's wonderful. Any thoughts or comment that you would love to share before we end this conversation?
No, I thank you so much for allowing me to be part of this with you. It's been remarkable, and your book um, is phenomenal. And so, thank you for sharing that with the world because it's brilliant.
Yeah, it's my pleasure, Jessica. I love sharing what I have, and I realize my positivity is what I have the most beautiful in my life because it's opened me so many doors. That's why I want to share it with anyone, with all the world. And also gratitude. Gratitude is key. That's why also I come with the journal, grateful heart, happier life become when we are grateful, life become easy.
Agree,
Yes.
completely agree.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you so very much, Jessica. It was a great pleasure having you today and keep doing the great work you are doing. I am so proud of you and it is very good to know you, to have you in my circle.
Likewise, I am completely blessed and grateful to call you one of my friends. So thank
Oh,
you.
so do I. Thank you so very much, Jessica. It was a pleasure.
All right. Thank you, Natasha. We'll see you soon.
See you soon. I hope you enjoyed this conversation with Jessica. I told you. Thank you so much for watching today's episode of the Positive Mindset Podcast. I hope you find this conversation inspiring as I did. Remember, embracing a positive mindset can truly transform your life. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe of our channel, Natasha Dassine and the Positive Mindset Podcast, and welcome to this journey. Until next time, stay positive, stay inspired, and keep thriving.